Hello there guys, and welcome back to our car modeling tutorial. And today in this episode we're going to continue with our Cybertruck. So we've got quite a bit done so far. I think the front here is going to be the hardest, so that's probably what we're going to focus on first. So let me go ahead here, and maybe what we could do first actually is quickly just bring our pivot over here, and we can duplicate special on there. So we have a little bit of curvature we need to add to this area and this area down here as well. The hardest bit I envision here is going to be this region, to try and get this nailed. So let's have a go at this bit first. Let's maybe take these edges here. So I'm going to grab those two edges and I'm going to bridge those together. I think it's going to be hard to maintain this corner, so I'm going to maybe grab this edge here and let's have a go and apply a bevel to this. 0.01. Okay, maybe 0.01 could work, because we just want to make sure that we're maintaining this kind of corner and edge as we go along here. So that looks like that should help. We do have extra edges to add here, but we'll maybe save those until afterwards. We've got a defined line that we need along here, so we're going to do the hard lines first and then we'll have a think about the easier ones after. So we're going to want a line that runs across there. We're also going to want one that's going to run across the top here. So let's maybe grab, let's maybe go, just undo that. Go and drop a line here, or a vertice should I say, and then I think what we'll want to do is we'll maybe want this to run all the way down and along this section. So maybe before we continue with that, let's probably insert some edge loops. Let's actually just undo that real quick, because we're going to want to insert some edge loops down here. Let's jump on our top view. I think what we'll do is we'll maybe drop two, so one about here and then maybe one just there. And what we're going to want to do for this is we're going to want to make sure that we're maintaining the same shape. Let me turn that off. So we're going to want to pull those forward there to help with that curve. With this one here we need to be careful, because if we're pulling forward here, what we might find is that we're upsetting the actual, you can see here that we've upset the kind of trajectory of that. So what we'll probably want to do is we're going to want to grab this secondary line here, and with my edge slide I'm going to pull this down in place here, like so. And I think what we'll want to do is want to grab these and hit delete on them, and we're actually going to want to select them again, hit Control E, and then on the green we'll pull them just a touch, like so. And then because we have this last line here, it means that what we can do is we can target weld that one back. Okay, so we got that back in just there. Okay, so let's go again. Let's grab our multi-cut, and we're going to go and draw a top line. I did remove all the lines that we added for this, so we're going to go in here, bring a top line along, and we're going to go all the way to this top edge here. I'm just going to hit enter at that point. We do need to draw a line off there just so that we can flow around. So let's go back in. It's going to get a bit awkward with the amount of edges that we have in here. Let me see if I can drop one right there, go down here, and then we're going to run all the way to the edge here. Just like that. We no longer need this, so I'm going to select that edge and Control and delete, and then I'm just going to zoom in nice and close, because we're going to have a couple of extra vertices we don't need here. So I'm going to grab the target weld and just target weld that one. I think we'll target weld that one forwards. Yeah, we'll go forwards with that. Okay. And then I think we'll maybe want to take this one backwards as well. Got my edge slide on, I'm just gonna adjust that slightly. Like so. I'm going to grab my edge loop and let's drop that in there. Okay, so we've got our edge in here. We don't need to worry too much about that just yet. We've got our edge nice and sharp along there. What we're going to want to do is we are going to want to think about this edge as well. So we're going to probably want to draw in for the majority of this. Let's maybe draw this in here. I'm going to take that up to this point. Now we're going to go up around the corner. I think we're going to want to take this one up here. Like that. And again, we're going to want to go in nice and close. I want to make sure we don't have any weird vertices here. So let's go and take this one. And I'm going to bring that one down there. Okay, I think that's looking okay. Okay, so now when we hit 3, we can see we've got a little bit of a defined edge up here, and we're starting to look a little bit better down here too. So let's continue that line all the way. Actually, let's actually drop in an edge loop down here instead. No, let's actually drill in. I'm going to draw this in so it's a bit more consistent as we move up here. Okay, and let's go and target weld here too. Okay, so now we've got a bit more definition as we run down there, which is good. Let's go insert edge loop, and we're going to drop one along here. Now what we might actually want to do at this point is we might want to grab anything that's kind of associated with the extra lines in here. I'm going to go grab all of these and I'm going to extract. Okay, well that's not a problem just now. Materials become disconnected. That's because we had our section over here, but we don't need that. That means that what we can do is we can insert an edge loop now along here, and it's not going to go up and run off along the top for us. So let's go hit 3 in there. So we're starting to get the shape of that front section now, which is fine. Let's go and drop 2 edge loops just here and here. We know that we want that to be quite significant as well, which is good. Okay, so we have one edge running up here. We also want another one to come down, and I would say when we want it to come down, we're going to want it to then go in here as well. So let's grab, let's maybe isolate this selection here. And let's maybe take from around there. Again, it is going to get a little bit messy down here, but should be okay. So let me take this edge here. There we go. And I'm going to go underneath as well. Drop that under there. And again, I'm going to get in nice and close And we just want to make sure we can eradicate any little triangles inside there. I'm actually going to take this one and just push it a bit more in that direction too. Okay. Okay, so we're looking a lot better. And it's coming down that section. Okay, I think what we could also do is let's maybe run an edge around here. And then we could actually maybe take that over here. Drop that just there, just to help us maintain that shape. So if we hit 3, we're looking a little bit better in terms of that section. So we're starting to look nice for the most part around here. I'm going to take this bit, I'm going to hit bevel on this. Let's go 0.05, maybe 0.01. Maybe 0.008, maybe that. Just to get a little bit more shape to that top section. Okay, so I'm fairly happy with how everything else is sitting just now. Let's go down here. We can add an edge loop in there. Okay, let's also drop down there too. Okay, so it's starting to look really nice around here as well. Okay, so we're going to have to start thinking about up here. So let's go and drop our first edge loop at the top. What we could maybe try is we could try grabbing all of this, and we could try dropping a little bevel on here. Maybe 0.8, maybe 2 segments. Okay, so that's not looking too bad. The only real problem here is we've got this extra little area, so I'm going to target weld that one down here. Maybe what I could actually do is, let's go to the beginning there. Maybe actually take that one up the top, and then this one here we could go down the side with. And get rid of that line in between. Okay, so that's helping us look a lot better, a lot better in that kind of section there. Let's maybe see what happens if we was to drop one just in that area. Luckily that's actually stopped there, which is nice. That's because I forgot to merge this one over here, which is good. So let's go take this. Actually, it looks like we probably actually want that, because we don't want that to become one line. Maybe we'll just leave that as is for now. So now we've got a nice sharp angle to that. There is a little bit of a pinch there, but I don't think it's anything to really worry about. So if we bring that in there, we can see that we're still looking quite nice for the most part everywhere else. what we could do is let's drop loops inside here, and we'll probably want to drop inside here as well. Just to help that. Okay, so we're looking good. Let's also, what we're going to want to do is we are going to want for this, we are going to actually want to extrude in. So I'm going to get rid of all of these, maybe all of these ones as well. And I actually think maybe not these ones. I think it's selected all those two, which we don't want. So I'm just going to put all of these edges down here into the wheel arch and then up the door. I'm going to hit Control E, and I think what we'll try and do is let's just try and pull in on the blue a touch. So I'm just going to pull in ever so slightly, maybe just to match what we had for the rest of the doors inside here. What we will though extend is, let's extend these ones in. Just going to take this off. So we'll extend these ones in, and we'll maybe take them down as well. So take them down a bit, and take them in. I'm going to straighten them off, and I'll just narrow them in a little bit as well. We can maybe do the same for this one, take that in just a touch, both directions. That's made that area a little bit awkward, so I'm going to go and just remove those real quick and add them back in. Maybe actually before, I'm going to do the same with these lower ones too. And then before we actually bring them in, let's maybe position these a little bit cooler, a little bit better. So something like that. Okay. So now we're happy with that. Let's take this and add them back in, top and bottom, like so. We want to add in a line through here, so let's maybe start to add something down here with the multi-cut tool. Just going to hold Control with the multi-cut and drop a line close to the top there, and hold Control and drop a line close to the bottom as well. And let's go ahead and link between. Okay, now we've got that linked. Go through here and grab that last one there. Okay, so I've added another line up there to help strengthen. So if we hit 3 now, we're looking a little bit better down that point, looking better for the most part everywhere here. Let's run a line up. So let's go, it's not looking too nice under there. We can quickly tidy that up to bring my edge slide. That's the problem with adding these strengthening lines first, is it can often get a little bit of a mess. It's awkward because if you add them in before, it makes some things easier, but if you add them in afterwards, it makes other things easier. But let's drop a line here, and we're going to run all the way up and around this kind of. This isn't really the wheel arch. This is kind of like just extra indentation so the wheels could actually turn. Still good there. I'll take that to the bottom because you won't really see this. This will be underneath the fenders. Well, the kind of bumper fender extensions. We do want to add a line down here and one on either side there. Okay, so looking good. I think the last two things we're going to want to do is I'm actually going to add another line down here. We can see when I hit 3 that we've got a little bit of shading on this side, and that's generally because there's just not enough geometry to help maintain a perfectly straight. So let's go and grab multi-cut, and I think what we'll do is we'll maybe drop it to about here. Maybe a little bit closer, maybe about here. So put that in there. I'm going to hold down Control. We'll drop down here. Same here. And then with the multi-cut again, I'm going to just draw in between. We can talk about there. And hopefully, now when we hit 3, we'll see that extra little bit of shading down. That's what I did on the edge of these doors, by the way, in between episodes as well. I should probably say I added a little bit more geometry just to get rid of any extra weird shading that I didn't like. Let's do 2 more things here. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to draw a line in here because we want to help maintain this angle again on this side too. And then the last thing, I'm going to insert an edge loop. I'm going to drop that on the underside there. Okay, so you can see there that we've got that whole section there looking quite nice. It lines up quite well with what we have there too, and we've got a little bit of curvature and stuff. So fairly happy with how that's turned out. I have this section in here. This is going to be where the light is. So let me maybe add some information to that. But what we also have is we actually do have a little bit of trim. So maybe what we could do is let's actually. I'm going to grab the whole outside. I'm going to hit Control E on this and maybe pull on the blue. Something like that. I'm going to select it all and I'm going to hit Control E. And again, I'm going to pull on the blue. Just so we've got like that whole kind of trim area running up on that side there. I don't want this or this. Let's actually just quickly isolate this selection. It's also I'm going to actually take that main light area. I'm going to extract that. Let's just isolate this selection. We don't want to have any of that. Looks like we want to drop that edge down a touch. Maybe that one up, just to make it a bit more uniform. Let's go and take these here and we'll bridge across. I don't think we're going to want to smooth this. We might do what we did with one of the rear sections. You can see actually we want to do a little bit of target welding here. Okay, let's do that and that. I'm just trying to just tidy this up a little bit, get a little bit more information in there. So now what we can do is we can have a go at bridging that back. The lower section looks tidy enough, so let's go same with that one. I'm just going to run this all the way around here. Okay, I'm going to apply my Lambert to that. So you can see inside there we're going to have a nice little bit of extra trim. Like I said, I don't think we're going to want to smooth this, so maybe what we'll do is we'll just grab every edge, maybe grab on both sides, and we'll bevel that. I'll maybe just leave the fraction 0.5 and then maybe just add 3 segments. Okay, and we'll smooth that off. That's still looking nice. Let's quickly also add our shiny blend to that too. Okay, so I think for the most part we're looking okay. I do have a little bit of creasing inside here. And my assumption is because of the bevel that we added to that. But I'll test that in a render and we'll see how that kind of looks. What I am going to do is I'm going to go grab all of these, I'm going to quickly combine them, quickly separate them, and then I should be able to quickly duplicate special each of them. You see that I don't quite actually stretch to the middle there, so let's just quickly resolve that. I'm just going to hold down X. I'm going to straighten these off, and then I'm going to straighten them off so that I can just grab X and drag that in. I'm going to do the same with these because these aren't quite stretching either. So I'll scale that straight, and then I'm going to grab my move tool, holding X, we'll drag that into the middle there. Okay, so we're looking nice down there then. I think for the most part we're all looking quite good. We do have, I think this top section here is glass. I could quickly just see about subdividing this. So I'm going to grab all the associated edges, I'm going to hit Control E. I'm going to pull that down a touch. Simply just going to run along and drop a loop there. I think we'll maybe drop a loop there as well. Let's drop one down the side here, obviously at the bottom too, and then one around the edges there for good luck as well. And now if I hit 3 on here, that's going to look fairly fine. And one thing that we haven't made yet, which we could do just real quick, is I'm going to grab my blend 2, I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm just going to add some transparency to that, maybe crank up the specular just a touch, and bring that in here. Okay, so we've got a little bit of glass just inside there, which looks like it should be pretty good. So I think what we'll do is we'll stop here for this episode. Before we do, we can see again that getting a little bit I'm just going to drop in a couple of extra lines. I'm going to do this just to kind of help, again, shore up those edges. I think maybe that should be okay. I can hit 3 on there, and that's looking a little bit better as we go down there. Okay, so we'll stop there for this episode here. If you enjoyed the episode, please hit the thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you in the next one.